at some point in your life, you're gonna come across someone or be a witness to an accident. So the question is, should you stop? And what do you do if you do stop? So let me set the scene here. It is, I don't know, maybe like 5:45, closer to 6, maybe just after 6. The sun's going down. It's not all the way down, but it's definitely getting dark pretty quick. All of a sudden, we drive up on this accident. We're in a remote location where there is literally zero cell phone service. There's no other cars coming by. We're on a mountain. We didn't really have any choice but to, at that point, become a good Samaritan. I'm going to kind of take you through the steps that I did, but also that I have read on different Department of Motor Vehicle web pages of things that they suggest to do. Number one, you want to make sure that you are kind of securing the accident scene. Make sure that you pull your own car over. First thing that I did was pull my vehicle over, make sure that everyone inside my vehicle was nice and safe. We didn't park it in a place that's going to put them in danger or anybody driving by in danger. Emergency lights on. And if you have any road flares or cones with you, set those out so that, again, other people aren't hurt whenever they come upon the scene. But before you just dive in and make sure that everybody's okay, it's very important for you, even though it's kind of an excitable situation, meaning that your nerves are going to be just on fire and your adrenaline's going to be going, your heart's going to be beating. Believe me, mine was. It's very important for you to stay grounded and assess the situation. Is this vehicle on fire? Is there fuel leaking? Making sure that it's safe for you to approach the scene. Otherwise, if it's extremely dangerous, you definitely want to leave that to the professionals and the authorities. So for me personally, I made sure that I didn't see any visible smoke. I didn't smell anything crazy. I didn't hear or see any fuel leaking. Kind of take some mental notes, because the details that you provide the first responders and the authorities later will definitely come in handy. In my specific case, the victim of the accident was already on the phone with OnStar. We had no cell service, so we were super thankful and certainly they were fortunate that they had OnStar because they were able to get the first responders on the way. As I approached the vehicle, all of these side airbags had deployed, so I had no idea what I'm about to walk into, but mentally I know that it could be something as gruesome as somebody just like bleeding really badly, or a loss of limb, or broken bones. I just didn't know what I was going to get into, but luckily, from my initial assessment, it didn't look like there was any bleeding whatsoever, nothing that appeared to be broken, just at this point, a pretty hysterical victim, rightly so. So the first thing I asked was, hey, what can I help with? I talked to the OnStar person, introduced myself. They let me know that the first responders were on their way. They were en route. In fact, I actually conferenced them in a little bit later. They instructed me not to move the victim. They also asked me to make sure and double check that there was no visible fire. We got the victim to turn the car off so that all those fluids that are going through the car, if there is any kind of leaks or anything like that, nothing was going to ignite. The person wasn't unconscious or anything like that. So we don't have to dive into the administering CPR and all of those kind of instructions. Administering any kind of first aid, luckily, again, I didn't necessarily need to, and really we were only there, even though it seemed like an eternity, because when you're trying to calm someone down in a situation like this, it's very difficult because they're hysterical. In this particular case, this victim was relatively pretty young, and they were pretty panicky. So really, the main sort of my job at that point, after kind of assessing the situation, was to help them remain calm, keep them warm. We found a jacket that was in their car and drape that over them, and basically treat them for shock until the first responders and authorities arrived, which they did, super, super quickly. So should you stop whenever you see a wreck? Well, I don't know. That depends on, your own decision and skill set, and how prepared are you. Do you have a first aid kit in your vehicle? Do you have the ability to help someone else, or you know, maybe you can just be the one that calls 911, and certainly use your own discretion on whether or not you feel like you should stop. But think about if it was your daughter or your son or your wife or your husband or your brother or your mom or dad that was sitting sideways in the woods on a mountain road just as it's starting to get dark, 30-degree weather, all by themselves. Wouldn't you want someone to stop? I know I would. Look, I just want to thank you so much for watching this video and any of the other Ask Woody Wednesday videos that you've happened to watch. If this is your first time watching an Ask Woody Wednesday video, then here's the deal. Every single Wednesday, I do a video answering your insurance questions or the questions that you never even knew you needed to ask, so that ultimately I can empower you with the knowledge that you deserve to make the best decisions when it comes to your insurance policies and coverages. And there's a lot of options out there, and I want to make sure that you are making the best decision that is going to protect your legacy and the things that you care about the most. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And remember, don't text and drive. And actually, don't even touch your phone when you're in your car ever again.